everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So you might be wondering, what are we doing in the corner of this cornfield with the dump trailer and the Polaris Ranger? Well, I'll give you one guess: firewood. I've got my dad here with me, and one of my neighbors recently had their property timbered, about a week ago actually, and they've got about 150 acres, and now not all of it's woods, and not all of the woods that they have was timbered, but I gave them a call and said, hey, do you mind if I go back there and cut some firewood? And they said no problem. So normally for a job like this, I would bring the Coyote tractor with the loader and the grapple, but because it's not my property, I want to respect the landowner. The side-by-side is a lot more low impact. So, you know, even though they've had skid steers and big heavy equipment in here, I don't want to be the one responsible for tearing up the property. So I'm trying to be as low impact as possible and respect the landowner that way. So let me show you what we got going on. All right, so here's the corner of the cornfield, and here's the trail back to the woods, and you can already see all of the trees and treetops and everything that they left. And when we're done here, I'll take you down to their landing zone where they brought all of the saw logs out. Some really nice equipment down there and some really nice saw logs. I'm kind of jealous. You know, obviously I would never cut them up for firewood, but I'm just dreaming about the straight grain firewood pieces I'd have out of it. But yeah, I mean, there is just, I mean, this is a firewood gold mine back here. I've already been back here cutting a little bit. You know, after work, I've come here for, you know, a half hour, 45 minutes and gotten a couple of Polaris Ranger loads and brought them back to the house. But this will be the first time we're bringing the dump trailer back here. So the plan is we'll come back here and cut on these logs, and then we'll bring them out. We'll use the Polaris Ranger, bring them out of the woods, and then load them in the dump trailer. And that way I can bring, I think I can fit about 6 Polaris Ranger loads in the back of the dump trailer. So we'll see how this process works. Like I said, I'd like to bring the tractor back here, but it's not my property, and I don't want to, not that you can really tear it up too much more than it already is, but yeah, like you can see, there is a lot of good firewood back here. So yeah, the goal here today is to get, you know, about a dump trailer load full. You know, obviously I'd like to get 2 or 3 here today, but you know, this isn't something we have to do. It's something we like to do. It's something my dad and I do together. What do you think, Dad? What do you think about all this wood here?
Nice pile. Good find.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this much firewood with this easy access before. I mean, we'll have to cut a couple of trails in through here to get the Ranger back close to some of this stuff, but I mean, the trees are already dropped, a little bit of limbing and bucking and throwing them in the side-by-side and then taking them up to the dump trailer. All right, so we got to get going here because we're supposed to get about 4 or 5 inches of snow today, and we're trying to beat out the snow. As you can tell, the conditions are actually pretty nice right now because everything's frozen over. It got down to about 23 degrees last night. So yeah, we're gonna get the Polaris Ranger out of the back of the dump trailer, and we're gonna get cutting. Stick around. there and then just roll it down in. Ow, almost got my finger. I tell you what, the firewood treasure just keeps getting better and better. We have a full cherry tree here that was cut down. Looks like they're not doing anything with it. Doesn't look big enough for a saw log. And then there's a cherry tree over here that blew down. And it looks like they're not doing anything with this either. Beautiful firewood. Good. All right, so as you can see, the weatherman was right. We got this third load here. This is all cherry. This is what we have so far. There's 2 loads in there now. We're gonna go ahead and try to finish up off camera just because I don't want to get the camera all snow covered. But we'll check back in after we get this trailer loaded, or, you know, if we call it quits just because the weather's starting to get pretty gnarly out. But we'll check back in when we're done. And like I said, I still want to take you guys down and show you all of those saw logs because they're pretty impressive. All right, so here is where we finished up. We still have quite a bit of room left in the dump trailer, but the weather is kind of getting away from us, and we want to make sure we get home before the roads get too slick because we're going to be carrying a pretty heavy load. But let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a couple of logs. 6 rows in a 7-foot wide dump trailer and 24-inch sides. This is probably some of the most beautiful firewood I think I've ever cut. And tell you what, we kind of had to work for it. We probably have about 5 hours now into this. Some of that stuff was buried and it was just kind of a pain to get to. But I tell you what, now that it's in the dump trailer, I would definitely say it was worth it. But yeah, before we get out of here, I promised you guys I'd take you down to take a look at those saw logs. So let's take a quick ride down. We'll show you the skid loaders and stuff they were using to get them out of there, and then just some of the beautiful lumber that they took out of there. All right, so there you go. That is the dozer they're using. It is a John Deere 650K. And then here is the pile of logs that they've harvested out of there already. It is an impressive pile of wood, that's for darn sure. I mean, look at this. The way I'm doing it, I could not even imagine trying to get this amount of wood out of the forest. I mean, look at this log down here on the bottom. That's at least a 3-foot log right there. It's crazy. So it looks like the dozer is skidding the logs down here, and then they've got this big Tiger Cat 230B that is loading them up into a log pile. I'd imagine what they usually do is they just set the logs here and then they start bidding it out, and then whoever the highest bidder is comes with their log truck and picks them up. All right, so we made it back home. Tell you what, it is getting nasty out. I'm glad we got out of there when we did. But that being said, this Ford F-150 has blown me away. I've got a pretty steep driveway and there's probably 3 inches of snow on there, and it pulled this dump trailer up there no problem. You know, I just put it in 4 low and just creeped right up it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this unloaded here. So there you go. That is almost a full dump trailer load full of wood there. Like I said, this is probably the most beautiful firewood I think I've ever cut. I am used to getting tree service wood, and there's a big difference between tree service wood and then firewood that you get from out of the forest. You know, tree service wood, it's got all the room in the world to branch out, and that's when you get all those big branches. But the trees that are back in the woods have to compete for sunlight, so they have very few branches hanging down low, and they grow straight as an arrow and create the most beautiful straight grain firewood you can imagine. But yeah, it is really starting to come down right now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, head inside by the wood stove, warm up, and have a nice bowl of chili. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and check out some other videos. Thanks for watching.